Hello, YouTube. This is the Galley La Podcast, and today we are going to be reviewing One Piece manga chapter 1063, The Only Family I've Got. And, also, yeah, this is Akainu Fanboy, and the other guy here is Geboss. And please like and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks. So, the cover story. The Galley Law Podcast would like to officially accept this W for a theory that we made a couple months back. Yeah, I know a lot of other people had it too, but I just want to say thank you. And thank you to everybody. And we also get another Admiral W, where Cracker got destroyed by Aokiji, from what it seems.
Aokiji's not a admiral anymore, so it doesn't count.
Oh yeah, I think someone said that, but I we don't need to reference that. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So it is kind of surreal to see how Cracker gets taken down from what it seems relatively easily by someone Luffy struggled immensely with, and Nami's helped it beat in like what a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a surreal thing to see that, you know.
Yeah, and it's official that Pudding's been kidnapped. And I mean, later on in the chapter, we're gonna figure out what the plans are for that. But
yeah.
yeah.
It is crazy how she's going to be such an essential part of the story, a character motivation for Sanji, definitely. It's going to wrap in a lot of aspects. Are the Big Mom Pirates going to even attempt to get her back? Will Katakuri try to play a role to get her back, you know, because he does love his siblings at the end of the day?
Yeah.
There's a lot that... This is like probably one of the most consequential cover stories in the entire series, actually.
Yeah. I mean, this could lead... I mean, like you said, if Katakuri goes after Pudding, this could lead to a team-up of Katakuri and Luffy, like
Yeah.
I've been wanting.
And we still don't know what happened to Big Mom and all that, but...
Yeah.
But I guess that's kind of a more pertinent question when you think about it now that this has happened.
Yeah. And especially because... we don't know how long ago this cover story is taking place necessarily.
Yeah, that's true. And well, it just from a character level, like Big Mom kind of always hated Pudding for being ugly and stuff, and so she had less value for her as a child, and basically. So I think only Brûlée and Katakuri really showed like a lot of affection towards her. The rest of the siblings are just kind of like whatever, from what we saw at least,
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's definitely gonna. Yeah, no, it's definitely the Germa 66 storyline with the characterization with Sanji and Pudding and all that. It's gonna turn out to be one of the biggest catalysts for the series now.
Yeah.
Voted like Sanji, and I'll leave it at that. But even though like there's a machine that Sanji wouldn't like, which is the cooking machine right here.
Oh yeah.
So did you have any thoughts on these initial panels right here?
Yeah. I'm gonna get flamed for this, but Bonnie has more chemistry with the crew than Yamato did.
Yes, agreed. Agreed.
So, yeah, it's also kind of refreshing to see like another one of the worst generation, who's like not necessarily a rival, who just kind of innately gets along with the Straw Hats.
Yeah.
And
she gets along more than Law did.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, within these first couple pages are just kind of establishing what Egghead Island's like, because it seems like there's people living here, like the lab assistants and everything.
Yeah. We're not sure if they're human or not, though. They might just all be robots for all we know.
Yeah, that's true.
Which probably gonna, most likely that's the case because the world government wouldn't trust any sentient beings to be around Vegapunk,
And then they change into their clothes, and they all have SS, or at least Luffy's and Chopper's have SSG on them. So, and I think it was, what was it, last week or whenever the last chapter was, they had SSG like on the Sky Dome. I noticed in the background rereading it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah, but Jinbei definitely had the best fit out of them all, though.
Oh yeah, real dad energy there.
Yeah.
But I also, since we don't get to see them this chapter, Zoro's the Zoro crew, the what's left of the Straw Hats, in the official dub or official translation, they like Zoro's not asking it, not asking something of Vegapunk for himself. He's asking for like, we have something we want from you. So
Gotcha.
yeah. Also, the official translation read a lot more smoothly than the fan one. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, and then moving on to the next section, we get Kuma police fit, which was weird, to say the least.
Well, I kind of suspected that Vegapunk, since he created the Pacifistas, would have some for security.
Yeah. But obviously Bonnie has like a bit of a, emotional reaction to this, kind of like we predicted with that, that she would. Well, we were saying more in the context of the Seraphim, but obviously this is applying more in this situation too, where she comes off as a really strong, gritty, person against like Akainu and Blackbeard. But then we kind of see her revert back to a child at the sight of, someone like her dad, which is kind of an interesting weakness on a character level for her. Like I said, better characterization than Yamato, very quickly in a matter of chapters. So
yeah, I think that we might be getting a Kuma and Bonnie flashback. Because we see the panel with young Kuma and young Bonnie, and it's so weird because we've never seen Kuma without his sunglasses, I realized. So this is like the first panel that you see, like, he's wearing regular glasses, and it totally like changes the way his face looks.
Yeah, he actually looks human. And
not,
like lifeless or something,
Yeah, which is why I'm interested to see like if there's a backstory behind his title, the Tyrant.
Yeah, and I can't wait for it. I think it'll be really, especially he's been such an essential part of the story for really big. Even though he doesn't say much, he's been huge with how the story's been directed.
Yeah,
huge
presence. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And just go back, like his introduction on Thriller Bark, I thought it was like one of the cooler moments of the series too. I just love it, But anyways. We get to the Whoa Oda Whoa chapter.
I understand you want to finish this in 3 years, but holy cow.
Yeah. I don't think anyone had this on their bingo card in the community. I mean, hats off to them. They predicted this, but
yeah. But
we went from Elbaf to Law versus Blackbeard Pirates.
Yeah. So I just wanted to point out in the first panel with Blackbeard's ship, it might just be me reading into it, but it looks like there's like one strand of like Conqueror's Hockey lightning coming from the water. Do you see that?
Yeah. I can see. Yeah. What you're referencing.
I'm just saying. So, but
yeah, I mean. Yeah, not much of a shock there, but
and then
it was
yeah, but then we get man, Oda's just been wilding with these female characters here with Bonnie and Doll and Law now.
Well, it was funny because like initially I was like, okay, wait, is there actually like an alternative version of Law's crew? For a second, I had to like take a sec back. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's just a big freak out, and Beppo as a female was kind of hilarious too. It was all pretty funny, but Law is probably furious with all this,
it's Ivankov all over again.
It was great, yeah.
But I found it interesting because Law is transformed into a woman, but then he says that devil fruits can, I guess their effects can be negated by really strong hockey. So people were always like saying in the community like the real people who could defeat Kaido, like Sugar, if she just touches him,
Yeah.
he would just be turned into a toy. But that seems like it's not that's not the case anymore. It reminds me of this little tangent, but in Bleach there's a character that has like if you hit the same spot twice with a skill, you instantly kill someone, and they tried that on the main villain, but he's like, my power's too strong for this. It doesn't affect me. So it reminded me of that kind of.
Well, also with Big Mom and Kaido weren't affected by Law's fruit either, right? Because their hockey was too strong.
Yeah, I mean that could definitely explain why like their attacks were hitting, but they weren't necessarily doing that much damage.
I'm talking about like being used in Law's room, basically. You know?
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
like
it seems like effects can be lessened depending on like how high
exactly.
their
I
hockey
think
is.
that's a good way. Because
Yeah.
Law is effective, but then he overpowers it.
Yeah.
So, do you think this was Doc Q's devil fruit, or a part of his devil fruit, basically, or like his doctor arts, if you will?
No, I mean it's pretty clear that it's his devil fruit, because it says he managed to nullify my disease, and I call this one the Malady transformation plague. So but yeah, so we get to see these Blackbeard pirates who have devil fruits now, and like just Doc Q's alone, like if Law didn't introduce this with the whole hockey negating it, like this is a crazily overpowered skill, like just to give anyone any disease.
So, and he's kind of established as wait, is this the first time we've seen Van Ogre post time skip? Because the facial hair seems different.
I think so, yeah.
And yeah, because when Burgess calls in, it was just Shiryu of the Rain and blanking on the other one that was there. But so just thinking about the Warp fruit, Van Ogre is probably most likely going to fight Usopp.
Yeah.
So curious to see with like Usopp's type of hockey, if it's going to be able to overcome this fruit in a unique way, you know?
Well, I can definitely see so I can definitely see now Otis kind of setting it up, the matchups, because with Doc Q, he's definitely going to go up against Chopper, and Chopper's going to have to find a way, because it's his dream to cure all diseases.
Right.
So it's a good way to have that matchup. And same thing with Van Ogre, where I can just picture the fight where he's just like teleporting around, taking sniper shots at Usopp, and Usopp has to use his hockey to like determine where he is, almost like maybe he even gets like some sort of, maybe not future sight, but like be able to tell really clearly where people are.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought Burgess' fruit was a little underwhelming. I kind of wish we got, it's just an amplification of what his fighting style already. Like, yeah, sure, that's impressive to hold that much, but I don't know. I kind of wanted something more unique, I guess. I mean, but
people were theorizing what he was going to get, and I was thinking maybe he would get like Josu's fruit, the diamond fruit.
Yeah.
Because that would be I think that would be a good fit for him. But also it looks like Burgess's face is like half mechanical now.
Yeah.
Probably because of Sabo.
I'm more inclined to think Burgess is going to go against Jinbei, if I have to guess. Both kind of like strong, buff, martial arts type of guys, you know.
Yeah.
I know other people were, well, one, he's a high level commander. He's the first commander. The first Titanic captain. But he's also, I've kind of convinced Vasco Shot's going to go against Sanji just because, Marineford. They did the matchup between Lucky Roo and Vasco Shot. And I see Lucky Roo as like the Sanji, basically. So that was part of the reason there. But yeah, so it is an upgrade for Burgess, and he needed it because he's,
he got manhandled by Sabo.
Exactly.
With a fresh fruit.
Yeah, with the fresh fruit. So he needed this. It's making me think, like, I know how Shanks and all them, they're valued for their crew mates, teamwork, basically. And you do see some teamwork at work here that's pretty effective with the Blackbeard Pirates. So it'd be an interesting dynamic if those two crews went up against each other.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see Blackbeard and Law recognize each other as fellow members of the Worst Generation.
Yeah. Well, I was going to bring up because... So, Blackbeard, Law, and Kobe, who got kidnapped by Blackbeard, we're not sure if he's, like, on the ship right now or whatever. They all have the connection of the Rocky Port incident.
Yeah, good point, yeah.
So, like Blackbeard was saying, like, it's been a while, Law. So, like, it begs the question of what exactly the Rocky Port incident was. Because it seems to tie all these people, and even, like, a member of the Rocks Pirates in all this, because that's how Blackbeard took over the Pirate Island.
Yeah, right. And so maybe we might see a flashback finally, because it's been referenced quite a few times already, the Rocky Port incident. So it may, I guess if we're going to kind of get into this next discussion, is if Oda's going to off-screen this fight or not, or if he's going to show it and then show the Rocky Port incident and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
Before we get to that point, I just kind of wanted to note real quick, with Big Mom and Kaido gone, the world's going to turn on its head. So obviously this makes me think of Whitebeard when he went down, the world went into chaos, and we've already seen the chaos with the abolishment of the warlord system already, but maybe we're going to start to see more and more craziness in the world, because 2 Yonko are gone, not just 1, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely. I mean, who knows what's going to happen, because there was kind of 2 years to establish everything with Blackbeard, but now it's like, this is the immediate aftermath. So, yeah, I think we're definitely going to get a lot of craziness. But
Right.
yeah, and oh, you go ahead.
No, I just one point, but I do think it's interesting because these past couple chapters makes it think like this arc was going to be really world government focused, and then you kind of get this sense like, okay, they're not focusing on the Blackbeard pirates at all, so maybe Blackbeard is going to be the final villain and not the world government. But then Oda's now kind of shoehorning him in incredibly aggressively with both the cover story with Pudding, and now he's getting the poneglyph from Law too, and potentially taking down another one of Luffy's major allies, you know.
And we just saw the whole thing with Hancock as well, with him.
Yes.
So, right. Yeah, I was going through all the people on the Blackbeard Pirates, and only 2 of them so far are confirmed to not confirmed to have a devil fruit, which is Pizarro and Vasco Shot.
Right.
So, because we know Lafitte has one, we haven't been told, and then San Juan Wolf has his one that makes him big. That's his devil fruit, but it's not been named.
And we're not sure if, I don't know, maybe we can see it in this fight that Blackbeard actually has the 3rd fruit that he hasn't showed the world yet.
Yeah.
You know? Or maybe he'll take Law's fruit.
I mean, he would want that for himself.
Yeah.
But Blackbeard's after the poneglyph rubbings. So if we take into account that Law has Wano's, Anzo's, and Did Luffy give him a copy of Whole Cakes?
No, but they most likely got whole cakes when Aokiji went to Whole Cake Island.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That they would have that one now. So that, and they have Pudding who can read the poneglyphs. So they're like neck and neck with the Straw Hats right now, and just the way that Oda is setting it up, it looks like those two are gonna either find the fourth one at the same time, or they're going to or somehow like Blackbeard, Luffy, and Shanks all meet up at one point, because they're all kind of going after the One Piece.
Right. So do you think Law's going to be defeated here and he's going to get his poneglyphs taken away?
I don't know, because I mean, there's the whole thing that so Law does not Blackbeard says nothing about going after Law's fruit. It's just going after his poneglyph rubbings. So if he's not after the fruit, he could be put in a position, Law could be put in a position where like he has to trade his crew for the poneglyphs or whatever.
Yeah.
And that be the case. Or I'm not sure if this is going to be off-screened at all. I hope not. I hope. I don't know.
People are gonna rage. People are gonna rage if that happens.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, and it's a matter of not if Law gets. Do you think that Law is going to die in this fight?
So it would be great if he died in this fight, because Wano, there was no meaningful deaths that we cared about, and I thought that was a missed opportunity. So this makes it feel like Luffy actually has a competitor, and he just lost a friend, and the world's more dangerous than he thinks it is. And I think it would be kind of heartbreaking to have Law for so long, and then as soon as they split up, he dies. And I think that'd be great. Now, I could kind of see it more likely this might be happening. He gets defeated, he gets the poneglyphs taken, but then somebody comes to rescue him. Whether that's Kobe, whether that's Shanks, even though I think that'd be redundant and kind of lame if Shanks, rescues Law again,
I mean, if that's the case, this could be your Shanks death.
That's true. I still think it would. Yeah, that's possible. And then this was kind of one theory, and I know this is kind of out of left field, but hey, why not? Because everything else seems to be out of left field going on so far. If Law is actually a part of the Marines and Sword, because this is a Sword arc and his Sword identity gets revealed here, I can see maybe like Garp or Sengoku come in to rescue him.
I hadn't thought about that. That's a good theory.
Yeah, that's you heard it here first. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe somebody else that I haven't checked. But
yeah,
that was a thought here too. So it's the theme of Sword. Kobe's on Sword on the ship. What if he sees Tropico Law like, oh hey, like we're on the same side or something,
Yeah.
And then maybe Garp or Kobe shows up or whatever and saves his life, and then he's able to get away. Because would Law be able to? I don't know. Those are just some thoughts here. Because Law's not winning. It's just impossible. It's just...
You don't think he can win against Blackbeard? Even though, literally, the OP know me.
Well, part of it is Blackbeard would never fight honorably in a 1v1. I think Kid and his crew would have a lot... They would lose just by a little bit. If Kid's crew fought the people that are here right now.
So you think Kid and his crew would do better than Law and his against Blackbeard?
Yeah. Easy.
Really? Mm-hmm. I mean, he does have... The only thing is that he has Killer.
Yeah, and I think the rest of the guys, I don't even remember their names, but the rest of his crew members, they can amount to maybe going against one person, you know?
Maybe.
Um,
We got
I think,
Jean Bart and Sachi and Penguin and Beppo. That's all you
the,
need.
the only people we've seen them fight are literal fodder and nothing else. That's it.
I mean,
While,
that's really the only thing with besides Killer on Kids Crew.
but I think you could add them all up enough where they can, like, maybe hold off one Blackbeard pirate. Thing is, I think Law's gonna get rocked by all these pirates at once. Like, his crew will get taken out in one panel, and then, like, it's just 1v4 after that. You know, that's how I kind of see it breaking down.
I think Oda's gonna subvert our expectations, like our favorite filmmaker Ryan Johnson, and have Beppo show his true power. I was texting you and Jimper earlier about the chapter, and I jokingly said that Beppo Law's gonna get defeated, and Blackbeard's gonna try and take his fruit, but out of spite, he's gonna use the immortality surgery on Beppo.
Well, it would be funny if this became a long fight. His crew is KO'd, it turns night, and then we finally see Beppo Sulong form and just annihilates Burgess.
Yeah, that would be funny. But yeah, I hope that it's not off-screened, and I definitely think that Law is losing, but he's not going to die here. Although it would be interesting if because he is a D, and if we see him die smiling.
Yeah, and he maybe because Law wants to find out more about the D name and everything too, and maybe he'll find it out through Blackbeard. So I think there's a lot hedging right here where we're gonna need to see this fight, you know. But I think if we're more likely to see this fight, I think we're more likely that Law is in fact an agent of Sword then, because why would you cut off to this fight in the middle of an arc unless it has to do with the theme of the arc, which is Sword, basically.
Yeah, and the world government and everything.
Right, because this is a type of fight you have after an arc, like with Ace versus Blackbeard.
Yeah.
It's usually after arc. You don't, like, cut to it right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Unless there's, like, a reason how it fits in with the rest of the arc. And the only potential connection I see with this arc right now is, like, the world government and Sword. That's it. And I think I know there's, like, Randy Troy, he has, like, an excellent theory video on this that breaks down the evidence. I think there's a lot of strong evidence for Law being a Sword member.
Yeah. No, I'm not against the theory. I think it would be cool if that was the case. But
yeah, but honestly, overall though, this is a terrific chapter.
Yeah, it just kind of came out of nowhere, the Law and Blackbeard stuff. Like, Oda's just been delivering banger after banger after Wano.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. I think honestly that Wano toward the end was just completely rushed. Like it
was rushed.
It didn't pay off what it needed to.
Like these moments, I think all these moments are the recent moments we've had are more hype than. Yeah, I guess Gear 5th was really hype too, but I'd say this is comparable to Gear 5th. This chapter, to be honest.
I don't know. Maybe it's because it's something new and it's not Wano for 4 years.
Right, but just seeing like a Law v Blackbeard matchup potentially.
Yeah.
Like that's an insanely hype matchup that no one had probably ever predicted or considered or discussed.
Yeah.
You know, and then seeing all their new powers and the Blackbeard pirates, you reveal after reveal.
Yeah.
Aokaji captures Pudding, which is like an insane hype thing in itself too. You know.
Yeah.
And it makes you think for the anime. You think they're gonna have to animate the Vin Smoke cover story?
I don't.
Because that's kind of huge for the story.
I know I mean, honestly, they should. I think we've said this before that they need to just take a break and do all the cover stories.
Yeah.
Because there's important stuff in there. I mean, it explains the Ace's connection with Lulucia. how Caribou got to Wano, all of Anel's moon adventures, like
Rob Bellucci's disenchantment with the world government.
yeah, like there's some important stuff in there, and even like I don't know what the longest one is. Probably I'm just remembering the Orlumbus one was so long, but they in themselves would probably take maybe at most 4 or 5 episodes to do the longer ones.
Yeah. Right.
And that would give plenty of time.
But like I said, this is what the most consequential one in the story.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
And it would be kind of weird to say, like, off screen, Pudding got kidnapped by Aokiji, and and it's like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
And it's like, you have to read the cover story. Anime only watchers, what's that?
Well, yeah, what's a cover story? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and the Vince Smoke Pirates got free, and Caesar got free.
Wait, they got captured?
Yeah, exactly. They got what?
What? Adele's on the moon? What?
Yeah.
But yeah.
But just like closing thoughts real quick. I don't want to have it go super long with this, but I just think like. I don't know. This is getting me just super hyped for the rest of the series because Oda has just a big trick-or-treat bag right now for Halloween, and he's just pulling out all the treats right now with plenty of tricks to to undercut our expectations too.
Yeah. And no break next week.
No break next week too. So stay off the internet, people, for spoilers because you're gonna get annihilated most likely.
I got spoiled before the chapter came out.
Yes. Don't be like Geboss, okay? Become a hermit if you have to. This is going to be all over the place, most likely. But you have any closing thoughts?
No, I don't want this off screened. That's about it.
Off-screen Law's death, that'd be phenomenal. That would just be the worst thing I've ever
all the Law people like Law more than Luffy and everyone else. There's no way that they're gonna do that he's gonna do that.
We'll see. But anyways, again, everyone, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Peace.
See ya.